Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is the A Square podcast. For those of you who wanted to listen to us live, if you got it, you got it. And if you don't, you don't. This is where we are right now. And this is our first episode of the year. I would like to say I'm excited for this episode because we got a whole lot to talk about today. And I would like to get started with my brother Antonio because we've gotten a lot of texts, tweets, Instagram messages, so on and so forth about, hey yo, why y'all not on? What's going on? Episode 187 of the A Square podcast. 187 episodes we've done. We did make posts. Thank you. And we'll introduce our guy GameOver in just a moment. But before we do, there's a reason why we haven't been on. And Antonio, I will leave it to you. We made a post, but I would like you to start the podcast, brother. So,
well, I'm gonna start the episode. Rest in peace, bro. There's no difference. The A Square family, we've been families for almost 5 years, bro. So we share everything what goes on with us. Good, bad, ugly, financial, kids, it don't matter, jobs, COVID, whatever that is. And we've always been transparent, so we're going to continue to do that, man. So, to the deepest soul, rest in peace, to my grandmother, man. She passed away a couple weeks ago. A lot of support that I've received over the past couple weeks. The timing of her death was right before Christmas, and the funeral was right before New Year's. So to me, it was actually perfect. It was a blessing in disguise, right? Because I was surrounded by a lot of people with love, people who were in town, people who wanted to come in town. They were like, well, no, we're going to definitely be there for the funeral. Her favorite color is purple, and people were coming from out of the country to come to her funeral. Weather, terrible, ass. Weather's terrible. Canceled a lot of people's flights, man. But those people said we still going to represent her and give her a moment of silence and celebrate her life. So they wore purple on the day of the funeral as well. So shout out to those people. Shout out to all the texts, the calls, the cards, the checking on me. The family's doing okay. Like I said, that was my girl for 37 years, man. So I appreciate you too, DJ, for understanding, your support, everybody that was there. So thank y'all. Hubbard hit me up too, man. So GameOver hit me up.
Yeah.
GameOver hit me up, man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I appreciate that. But it was a good celebration. So thank you guys for the A Square podcast for understanding, supporting, and this year gonna be a lot stronger than that, man. So a little bit behind the scenes, she was dealing with dementia for a couple years, and then she got diagnosed with breast cancer last year as well, that we talked a little bit about. So that's none of those reasons are the reasons what she passed from, but her heart just couldn't take on fighting all those battles, right? So that's what she passed away from. But we always gonna celebrate her. Her birthday's coming up, so I love you, Anna B. Adams, man. That's my girl, man. So DJ, you was there. I mean, what you think, man? I know it's a pretty touchy subject for you too as well.
It is. I've been there with my mom. I've been there with people that are very close to me. It's not easy. But we all have to go through it. And that's just what it is.
Right.
Somebody close to us is going to have to go through it when we go. I think the important part is the memories, and I think it's the celebration.
Right.
I'll share something that I may have said on this podcast before, but it may have been emotional for me, but I will share it. Again, I went against the grain with my mother when she passed. She passed, and we potted. We went through the podcast, right? We did it all. My mom was a Chicago Bulls fan. I went against the grain. The Lakers were losing at the time the Bulls were winning, And in those times, everybody used to look at me and be like, "The Lakers? You don't know nothing about no Laker. You don't know nothing about you don't know this and you don't know that, so on and so forth." But I went against the grain, even though my mom liked Scottie Pippen and she liked the people from Arkansas who played for the Lakers. I didn't give a damn about no Arkansas, so I picked the people that I liked who was on TV during the time when we was growing up. Growing up, we only had a few channels. You only had a few channels. You was either watching the Lakers, the Knicks, Orlando,
Pacers,
the Bulls, the Pacers, the Knicks. Like, you were only watching a few teams, and that's it. Wasn't nobody watching the Grizzlies and different people. So my mom used to always mess with me, be like, "They still gonna lose." That's what she always used to say. So I use that as motivation to be like, I keep that as my funny part. You know what I mean? My funny part of my mother and the things that she brought to me. So, Antonio, we heard a lot of stories, man. We heard a lot of stories. Hey, she knew about spades. She knew about spades. But I would like you to share a story if you could.
Absolutely.
Because I know when you stood up, you spoke your truth. But I would like you to share your story.
I'll tell a different story though. So I'll tell a most recent story with her. So like I said, she is dealing with dementia, right? So I think we talked a couple times about her taking the wrong pills and doing like just wilding out. Like she don't understand what she's doing, even though this is real time. But she could tell you where she wore when she was 3 years old and it was raining and her grandma came and picked her up and she had a bologna sandwich. That's her. She can remember all the old stuff, but none of the new stuff. Yeah. So this was towards the end when she became like nonverbal. Mm-hmm. She'll say a little bit, but it's very faint. So it was just me and her chilling. I'm like, "Hey, Mom, what you want to listen to, man?" And she looking at me. She was, she likes Michael Jackson. So I was like, "You want to play some Michael Jackson?" And, she didn't want to hear that. I said, "Hey, you want to play some Marvin Gaye?" She looked at me. I said, "Say less." That's shit. Let me get this title real quick. Type in Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
Let that thing play. She starts singing 3 songs back to back, just every word, right?
I love it.
I'm sitting there looking at her like that. I get close to her. I said, "So how you don't remember to take your medicine?" She was like, she fell asleep like this. I said, "Bro, no, bro, I don't want to hear that, bro." All that shit was fake, man. All that shit was fake. But that was her. And so it was good that I got to tap into her comedic side, towards the end of her life, man. So, like I said, man, that's my girl, man. So it's good to celebrate her good times, from when I was a kid, I got stories, to high school, to college, to as adult, to taking care of her, to her last days, man. So I appreciate that, man. So that's what I got, man.
And I think we're blessed for that.
Mm-hmm.
I really, truly believe that we're blessed from that because, we're young. When we talk to them, they be like our grandparents, our mom, whomever. When we talk to them, they be like, "Oh, you a young boy, you young, they got so much knowledge and wisdom that I think that we need to take that into like the real world. We need to listen to them because they know. Right. They know good music. I would hate to be my brother Antonio right now. I almost hate to be his son because listen, he's not gonna listen to nothing that's out now, but he's gonna listen to everything that's out right now. He gonna go against the grain. It's gonna be a battle in that household. Trust me, it's gonna be a battle.
Ain't no battle.
It will be. It will be.
Game over, man. You still got your grandparents, man, or your parents or anything?
Yeah.
No, I actually I lost my grandparent in 2003. And
our condolences, man.
Thank you. She actually raised me because I got taken from my mom's when I was 5 years old, and they put me in foster care.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to burn down a foster care place.
Who we got on our podcast? Hey, get this dude off.
We got another Hulu documentary. That's what we got.
So in the midst of that, my grandmother raised me and took me in, and I'm sitting here and I'm listening, and then my mom, she just recently passed in 2015.
Tough.
Yeah, but I was my grandma raised me
Mm-hmm.
from, I'll say, from the time I was 6 till, like I say, she passed away in 2003. And memories after memories after memories, man. It's
For
just,
sure.
and like DJ said, when you deal with, or when you converse with older people, because they don't like to be called old,
Mm,
it's so much wisdom and so much knowledge that they have, that you
that's
just
right.
want to sit there and just be like, just keep talking, because there's so much that you want to soak up. So I definitely understand how both of y'all feel. And I hate to be in a story and somebody say something and I'll be like, I don't really know how they feel, but I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
But I can actually contest to how, what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, losing your grandmas, losing your moms, because me and my
Yeah.
mother, we wasn't that close. In fact, the first time I ever told my mother I love her was when she was in a casket, and I was like 36 years
Man.
old.
Man.
You know what I mean? And that's just that's just things that happen throughout the life, that I didn't have the relationship that most people have with they family. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm,
the only thing my father ever did was put me in boxing and then leave me. You know what I mean? So I never really had, even to the day, me and my father don't have that father and son relationship. We have a Terrell and Kevin relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't one privileged to have that father mother relationship. It was my grandmother and the streets who damn near was like, all right, this is what you're gonna do.
Give you
Or
that
people,
structure. Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? People who raised me in the streets, that knew my father, knew my uncle, called my G's, and they was like, nah, this is what you're gonna do. And it was that, boxing and sports. But
Uh,
I ain't go A1 like you.
But isn't that crazy that the more people that we talk to, whether it's our friends, family, loved ones, whomever we talk to, isn't that interesting that we all kind of share a similar upbringing, to where there isn't a lot of us that have that relationship with their mother. We try to, I don't want to say rebel, because I didn't rebel against my mom, but I was trying to just be a man. That's what I was trying to do. But I didn't have a male guidance. And I think that was I feel like that was the anger that we both had, like me and my mother. But then me and my grandmother was like, no, this is the structure. You
Right,
gonna go to church.
right.
You gonna do this. You gonna do that. Like she was the one like that. And I think that was, I feel like that's a very interesting thing. When we lose our grandparents, it's very, very deep. And Antonio, I don't know. I know you know a lot, but I mean that bridge, I guess, with your grandmother, your mother, and
yeah,
the
man.
love, like that feeling is
Well, and that's one thing
interesting.
I've noticed too during this period is, people grieve for different reasons,
Yeah.
right? Like, so one person, because like I said, I don't want to say who whatever is
Yeah.
happening,
Yeah.
but it's like one person might grieve because, man, that was my spades partner. Man, she knew everything, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna miss my spades partner. Somebody else might be like, man, we used to go walks on Sundays. Man, I'm gonna miss
Right.
my partner, right? Somebody else might be like, shit, she used to let me borrow $5 every goddamn day, and now I ain't got $5 now, right? So it's different people are grieving for different reasons,
Yeah.
and I think that's what will happen whenever we pass, right? People will grieve us for different reasons,
Yes.
but it's like just try to put that good energy out there in the world. I know, and I say this because not only was I going through a painful time in the past couple of weeks, I know 4 people and an animal that passed away in 2 weeks. So I'm not the only one going through this, bro. Right? I had a friend. I ain't gonna say who it is because I don't know if they mind me saying this,
Yeah.
but I had a friend, sister, coming to see them for the holiday and get in a car wreck. Right? And this is happening to everyone out there. And that's just stuff that I know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure there's stuff that I don't know or other people listening to us. We reached a lot of countries in this almost 5 years, bro. So we have a lot of people out there who's going through it. And we talk about that for these past
We
4 or
do.
5 years, bro. But, we always here. So y'all make sure y'all hit us up. If y'all want to talk about anything, we have people on all the time. Come talk. We just had our last guest talk about his son killing himself, right? So it's like, anybody and everybody goes through something, but you got to talk about it, get it off your chest. You know what I'm saying? Because you might get some advice. hear the other side or just the support, right? Just somebody to listen. So we love y'all, man.
Absolutely. No
Appreciate
doubt.
it.
This is the A Square podcast. If you guys are just now joining us, obviously we had a third guest in the building today, Mr. GameOver.
Game over.
And kicking off the GameOver podcast, 15 minutes of fame. Talk to me nice, bro. What's going through your mind right now? How are you feeling?
I'm all right. It's hard work. You know what I mean? Especially down here in Atlanta, because I'm still fairly new in Atlanta. So it's just a lot of groundwork and hustling, bustling, and figuring out the Atlanta ways. It's like a 360 from New York City. So just like last year was pretty much my coming out, just seeing the movement, the type of temperature Atlanta have, the type of vibes. And this year is like, all right, I didn't put one foot down. Now I'm about to put this next foot down, and it's time to put these 2 feet together and go.
Yeah, much different than where you came from.
Yeah.
It's moving, but from where you come from, it's
you know what it is. You know what it is like, and I would say it would be the same if I was born and raised here. Like my footprint started when I was like 6 or 7 years old. My uncle was a big DJ in New York City, one of the biggest DJs in New York City. And he used to make me carry his crates of records. You understand what I'm saying? From carrying the crates of records to carrying back in the days, they used to call it the coffin. Carrying the controllers was the coffin. And I used to just watch him, and I'm like, I could do that. And he'd be like, "Boy, don't touch my shit." Touch my shit.
That's a 75 pounds of turntable in that coffin. You talking about almost 200 pounds in that coffin. Trust me, I've carried it myself. I know.
So I used to carry that.
Yeah.
The crates, the Gemini speakers. So I remember one day he went out, and I said, "Fuck this! I'm carrying it." And this is back in the days when they had the needles.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So I went to he had a dope radio room, DJ room, whatever. So I went up there, turned that bitch on, and scratched every needle, every record. When I
that's a violation, bro.
Violation.
That
to
is
the 10th
such
power.
A violation. Don't ever do that.
To the 10th power.
I'm not even gonna ask you to name him, because I know he mad right now, and that's a story that he needs to tell.
You know what's so
crazy?
He
needs to tell you that.
Oh my God.
And you know, I rest in peace to my uncle. This February be he passed last year. This February
Rest
be
in
2
peace
years
to him,
ago.
bro. Rest in
Yeah,
peace. Man.
so from that, when I messed up everything, he actually taught me how to DJ.
Oh wow.
And then as I got older, I picked up the microphone, just off randomly, just picking off the microphone and just say, "Hey, y'all," you know what I mean? Going, how you say, bar for bar with the songs.
Yeah.
And then from that led into me being a promoter at some of the biggest promoting clubs in New York City. Then from doing that led me to be affiliated with the major DJs from radio. And from being affiliated with the major DJs in radio led me to podcast, led me to internet radio and having my own show and creating my own team. You know what I mean? In New York City, to where now it's mainstream radio, it's internet, it's podcast. Me hosting I done hosted Summer Jam, Power Jam. I hosted a fucking bar mitzvah.
I love it. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's so much to now me being here in Atlanta, and it's like starting all over, because I look at people and I'm like, you good, but I can't have you on my team, because at the end of the day is my energy is so crazy, and that's all I want. I want positive energy and good people behind me.
Right.
And I'm the type of person to where like everything has to be done the right way. Like if I'm working on 1 million, I want you to work 1 million. If I'm working harder than you, then I don't need you.
Word.
Which leads to me doing the podcast. So that's a little bit of it.
No doubt,
man. So when's the You know, I know it's
Launch
this
day,
Sunday,
what
but
you
tell me
doing?
what's
What
the
you-
launch day? What's to
the plans?
expect coming up, man? Because
Yeah.
you know I'm gonna be there a little. You know what I'm saying? A little sitting a little,
So
be a
yeah,
little
you know,
suited up, man. What's
you know,
up?
So it's like you said, it's January 14th. It's from 6 to 8, but I'm gonna push it to 6 to 9 because I gotta count it in my CPT people, my color folks. You know, they don't come at 6, they come at
Facts.
6:30.
Facts.
So from 6 to 7, I got the complimentary champagne. I got gift baskets. Shout out to my sponsors. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Atlanta
Obviously,
Certified Streets.
yeah, no doubt, no
Um,
doubt.
they gave me some gift back, some shirts and stuff to give out. Um, so lately here, I have the umbrella of 15 Minutes of Fame podcast, but podcasting has been saturated so much that
Yes, yes,
what and you guys, I'm saying this is the first time people hearing it. It's gonna be a show, so it's gonna be structured as a show to where I have commercial breaks and all that. So now it's
Cool.
not so much just dealing with podcasts. Now I'm trying to reach that audience of this is an actual show put together.
yeah,
With that being said, it's a diverse podcast. So on my podcast, it's mental health, it's prison reinforcements, it can be some of anybody on my podcast that have some type of substance. My thing is and it's a lot of topics that deal to me because we could talk about like if we talk about mental health. To
Right.
me, I believe mental health been around for years. For
Facts.
years.
Facts.
We used to call them retarded kids. No,
That's true.
you know what I mean? It just wasn't something that was talked about.
What you be?
No, but you're right. But
It's
and
right.
what you're saying
You're
is
right.
that
You're right.
what you're saying is correct. We
Yes.
we got to be able to. I
Facts.
feel like we need to be able to say it without being offensive. You know what I mean? Like that is
Right.
how we grew up. That's
Right,
what we
right.
grew up with hearing
Right.
that, and that's not correct. We
Right,
are
we-
now educated
Right.
in how
We-
it should be.
110%. We grew up. You take the school bus now, and it's totally different out here because out here everybody takes the yellow school bus. In New
Yeah.
York, if you took the yellow school bus, you special needs. You reread. You know
Right.
what I mean? If it's 5 of y'all in the class, that's I'm sorry. They used to
It
call
should have been 15. They just forgot the other 10.
Yeah,
They
right.
forgot.
So back in the days, and then the crazy part, if you look at it, like they say mental health issues, but they used to say remedial classes or something
Yeah,
like that. That's what
yeah.
you a retarded ass.
That's how we used to say
That's
it.
how we
That's
used to
right.
say it. So
We live and we learn, right?
definitely do it.
You live and you learn.
So this Sunday, I have Amani Watson. He's the #1 gay influencer.
Okay.
Brand ambassador for for so many different brands. I have official Zyme. He's a member of the Force MDs. With that, remember the song "Tender Love"?
Yeah.
He's the nephew of one of the members from there. He's doing his own project. I have I hope I say her name right. Nabila Kelly. She's a pastor. She's also from New York, and she's down here in Atlanta. She's a pastor.
Nice.
I have another young lady. Her name is Beautiful the Artist. She's a deaf rapper.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then how I do my shows is I'll interview 4 to 5 people, and that gives me a month worth of shows. So while those is running, I'm thinking about my next month topic. Like next month might be producers. So
love
while this month is going on, I'll bring 4 different producers in and interview them. So next month, my 4 shows is already out.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. I love a lot of content, man. And I like to, I'm glad you said everything you said because usually during our podcast, within the first 20 minutes, I usually get us canceled. So let's go ahead and get into the cancel segment of our podcast where I just ruin it for everybody. Now you mentioned homosexual, and you mentioned a lot right there, and there's been a lot of things going around prior to the new year, and one of the things was Pastor T.D. Jakes being accused of being what we call, or what they call, because I wouldn't call it anything. I'll stay out of their business.
This
But
is
what
not
they was,
A Square podcast.
this
talking
is what
right
they
now.
would be
This is
called.
Aaron talking. I don't
It
know
would be called. He would be called a power bottom, if you will. And I don't know a lot about this type of stuff. But what I do know is that if you've ever seen
What's a power
TD
bottom?
Jakes,
I don't understand.
well,
I was just gonna let that one go.
I'm gonna let you look at it.
Right. Not on my phone. I ain't
It's,
listening.
hey, it's Street Fighter without fighting. A lot of power and a whole lot of bottom. Listen, what we do know is that if you hear TD Jakes preach, he sounds like the guy that says, "Listen to this track, bitch." If you've ever heard a mixtape in your life,
for sure.
And he was accused of this. Now, this is all alleged. Now, we don't believe none of this. I personally don't believe none of this. I don't believe any of this. None of it. I don't believe none of it at all. But when I hear certain, it's certain things, Antonio, when you hear certain things, you got to get to thinking. And I sit there and I think, and I be like, man, power bottom. That means that you're the man that is with another man that has been.
Like Howard?
Now, wait a minute. See?
Allegedly, I mean, that's not even allegedly. That's not even allegedly no more. That's open like a book. He
It's
even
open.
said it.
Wait a minute. Did he? Did you heard him? Game over. Go ahead and get yourself canceled out. Go ahead and express.
Your podcast gonna be canceled before you start, my guy.
Go ahead and express, if you will, because we talked about.
Look how you do it on me.
Yeah, both of y'all out of here. Both of y'all.
Because we talked a little bit about Howard. We talked a little bit about Howard and why we think that he's not in the NBA. We talked about that, Antonio. Yes or no?
We did.
We talked about that. So, Game Over, what did you hear about Mr. Howard?
No, don't do it. Don't answer it.
So, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, don't listen. I ain't said shit. I'm just sitting there. How you gonna tell me that you listen? I'm sitting there telling you that I'm trying to get to where we at.
So we talking about the TD Jakes, or we talking about Mr. Howard?
I would say right now let's start with Howard.
Oh, you want to start with Howard?
Let's start
allegedly,
there.
Allegedly, and this
see,
is allegedly.
this is what I'm talking about. This is a moment in history that we need to save, Antonio. Allegedly. We learned that. Did we not learn that, Antonio?
No, I didn't learn that. That's been my whole career. That's y'all need to learn that.
You gotta know.
I'm always a legend. I don't know what y'all talking about.
You gotta know your safe words now. You gotta know your safe words, and that's major safe. Allegedly, he came out and said that. And let me get it right, because I don't want to miss the man's words out.
You ain't gotta say it verbatim.
Yeah,
we could just say
that he was having sexual intercourse.
It was consensual.
It was consensual intercourse with the man and the other party that was in the room, and when he was having sex, he was giving fellatio to the man.
That's not funny, bro. Stop laughing, Antonio.
He was giving fellatio.
It's not funny, bro.
To the man.
Stop
So
laughing.
these was his words that he said he was doing.
Yeah.
So this ain't Game Over saying that this is what he said.
And once again, to the A Square podcast listeners, we don't care. We
that's
don't
what I'm
care.
saying.
We don't care. And that's the thing I think that we talked about too, man. People trying to duck, dodge, hide, and all that. It's okay. Be you. Be yourself, bro. Nobody cares. Talk to me, Game Over.
I've always said that. Go ahead, bro.
You know what's so crazy? So what's today? Today, Monday, Wednesday. I don't even know what today is, but Sunday.
Tuesday.
Sunday, I was co-hosting an event on a panel, and when the host hit me up, she was like, "Game, I want you to come and be my co-host." And I was like, "I don't think you want me to do that." She was like, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm gonna ask the real questions." You understand what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
people get offended when you ask real questions. Like
Like the
you
honest truth. Like the
the
honest truth.
honest truth.
Yeah.
Like if you have a panel and you got everybody up there and they're X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C, and telling how they reach this plateau of stardom and they work with this plateau of stardom. I don't give a fuck. Can we curse on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You good. You good.
I
You
don't give a
good.
fuck that you work with a man that's already been popping. I want to know who the fuck you work with from the bottom and you rose to the top that
Right.
make you charge all this money. If
Yeah.
you
Facts.
say, hey, you know
I
what?
agree.
I'm a publicist and I've worked with Jay-Z. When did you start working with Jay-Z? Did you start
Yeah.
working with Jay-Z in the
Facts.
80s? Or did you start
Facts.
working with Jay-Z in 2024? Because in 2024, Jay-Z already been Jay-Z. You
Yep.
understand what I'm saying? And these are the questions that a lot of people shy away from, that I'm gonna, like, even my questionnaire for my guests, I'm coming at you, not in a way to embarrass you, but if you a guest on my show, if I'm a guest on your show, people want to know the question that you ask. They want to
I
know the
agree.
answer. So that's how it is. It's like
And
at the end of the day,
you can
Oh,
finish
go
my
ahead,
fault.
Tony.
yeah, no, that's it. And at the end of the day,
I
it's
was
just all
just
about
gonna
asking the right
say.
stuff.
I was gonna say, and then that segue to the hottest topic going on right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to this day, it ain't even been 7 days yet, and this interview has 38 million views, right? And we're talking about interviewing and podcasting and conversation, and that's the Katt Williams and Club Shay, bro. And Katt Williams said a lot of hot off the press stuff, boy. It's
Facts.
clickbait for years.
For
But
years.
the problem is, DJ, on the reactions, I don't hear nobody saying, bet, let's do a one-on-one. I don't hear nobody saying, let's go on tour together. I don't hear nobody saying, hey, next time I see you, you need to see me. I don't hear nobody saying, you call me, I stole your jokes. No, I didn't. You stole my joke, right? I don't hear none of these rebuttals. All I hear is, pray for my brother.
No.
I hear, yeah, he's on drugs. Yeah, I hear freestyles addressing them, but not really. He could have cooked them too. It's battle rap. I don't hear none of that, DJ. So
I want to hear. Here's the thing, and I'll go into this because y'all, Antonio, you for sure know that if it's one person that watches every, I don't care if you're white, black, Chinese, Indian, I don't care who it is, I'm watching your stand up. That's me. So when I hear certain things, I kind of know, you know what I mean? And here's what I will say. I will say because this is obviously the hottest topic out is Katt Williams on Club Shay, right? I will say this. I believe that 90% of what Katt Williams was saying was true.
Mm-hmm.
I really will.
I'm with that.
I have watched him for many, many years, and he has been who he is. You don't hear a different person. When he get on stage, and you got Katt Williams, that's who you're gonna get. And you're gonna get an authentic person, and you're gonna get new material when you do hear him. You're gonna hear stuff relevant to what is going on in today's world. So I appreciate a lot of the things that he said on there because I think that he was speaking his truth. I do believe that there are gatekeepers. I don't believe there's gatekeepers in comedy. I believe there's gatekeepers in everything. Across the board, you can't be the president of the United States without walking through a gate. You can't do it. You have to be a disruptor in order to walk through that gate. You know what I'm saying? You have to be a disruptor to do that. And I can appreciate what he was saying when he was saying it because I seen it. I heard Bernie Mac out of his own mouth say, I'm done with the Kings of Comedy. Why? Because it's certain people that's keeping him out or trying to keep him out of what he believed that he deserved.
Right.
And there wasn't a person on that Kings of Comedy tour that didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like that didn't, it's two people. You got DL Hughley, who's always been DL.
Yeah.
Always.
Sure.
You got Cedric the Entertainer, who I've never found him funny on stage. I've always found him funny in movies.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that he ain't funny. I'm not discrediting anything that he's done. I'm just saying I found him funny in movies and in TV shows more, which to me means people have written. You may even have been in the room when they written it. But as far as stand up, I didn't relate to any of that. I didn't relate to certain other things. So I love what Katt was saying, and I love when he said it's up in 24 for everybody who has certain things to say in regards to comedy. I can appreciate it because he is what I wish Eddie Murphy would have done, in my opinion. Eddie Murphy was a phenomenal. He's obviously in my top 5, right? But nobody puts Patrice O'Neal in his top, and you know what he did.
Man,
nobody,
he's hilarious, man.
Hilarious, and nobody wants to say that, Corey Holcomb. If you've ever been to a Corey Holcomb show, bro.
Raunchy.
I seen it with my own eyes. I seen people
real
walk
hardcore comedy, bro.
I've seen people walk out of the I've seen people walk out, and he kept the show rolling, baby, because it's what he does. So, what did y'all think of the interview? What did y'all think of the slides you saw? What you saw? Tonio, let's start with you. What did you think?
Yeah, so if y'all haven't had a chance to watch it, it's on YouTube. Like I said, it's almost about to be 40 million in a week.
Let's talk about that.
2 hours
let's stop
and
there just for 1 second,
minutes,
bro.
Bananas.
45 million.
About to be 40 million in 6 days.
It's something to say for that.
The clips are 7 million. It's some videos that's been out there for 30 years ain't even reached 1 million, right? So it's like, no, this is 6 days, and it's hot off the presses. Everybody has an opinion on it, right? So I'll get into, and it's 2 hours and 45 minutes. So if y'all got the time and traffic, working out, or chop it up, you know what I'm saying? But I think everybody should at least watch it and form your own opinion. Don't form your opinion based off of your hottest podcast or news cycle or anything like that, right?
You got to watch it.
You got to watch it.
Watch it yourself.
Yep. So I'm let me talk about 2 things from what I got. One, I don't take Katt Williams as a bully. I take him as a person who stands up for himself, right? So a lot of stuff that he addressed came to him. He didn't speak out because he could have spoke out years ago on these topics. Yeah. But he talked about Ricky Smiley from what he said. He talked about Bernie Cedric the Entertainer from what he said. He talked about Steve Harvey from what he said. He cooked Faison Love. I don't know what Faison Love said. What's his name? Faison Love. Faison Love. Yeah, I don't know what he said, but
when they shooting, everybody.
Sometimes you miss, but you hit something. Sometimes you miss, but you hit something, right? So I took that as him sticking up for himself, and let's say on the side of being right. That's what he stuck up for. So I enjoy that. Those are the people that I'm with, right? Yeah. Right or wrong, stick to the side that's right. No matter how it washes out, that's the side I want to be on, right? That's one thing. I think you also said he said 90% of the truth, right?
Yeah.
So let me address the 10%.
That was my thing.
Right.
Yes.
So let me address the 10%.
Yep.
I think the 10% was his truth. It doesn't mean it was true. It doesn't mean it was a lie, right? Mm-hmm. He said one thing where what's his name? Money Mike? Was it?
Yeah, Money Mike and
it was a rape scene, right?
Yeah, the rape scene. Yeah.
He says there was a rape scene. And he talked them out of it. Ice Cube said, I would never write a rape scene in any of my movies, right? Yeah. This is a person who wrote the movie And this is a person who was acting for that role and they said there's a rape scene.
Yeah.
This is a scenario where I'm just making this up, but two things could be true. They could have been in the writing room without Cube because Cube already wrote it. So they're still creating. Yeah. And somebody said, oh, well, this could be funny if he gets raped or blah, blah, blah. And Katt's in there saying, no, I don't think that is good, right? So that's Katt Williams' truth thinking that they wrote that.
Facts.
Ice Cube is saying, I never wrote that. So he might have the last say if he finally come out his film day. All right, we shooting a rape scene in the bathroom. Cube be like, what the hell, bro? We ain't shooting that shit, right? No,
we're not doing that, yeah.
So that 10% of what you said, DJ, is his truth to me, how I took it.
I agree.
I don't think he was lying. All of it might not be true, you know, to other people, but that's what he saw, what he interpreted, what he heard, or what somebody said to him through third party and in their past, you know, like Bernie Mac or something. So I really loved it. Shannon Sharp, kudos to him. He let him go. Sometimes you can't be interacting with just let him go, bro. Give him more.
One thing I will say,
and it's cool.
The one thing I will say is, hey, Shannon, throw the cue cards out, bro. That shit is over with. The whole your upbringing and all that shit.
Yeah.
Hey, we not here for that. We are not.
But we still learn something. But game over. What you think? Oh, you playing?
I was swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming?
TDJ's got to chill out, bro.
You wildin', DJ.
Now listen.
But game over. What you think before we move over?
Game over.
What you think, bro?
I did that specifically for you because I want you.
Oh my God.
I did that specifically for you because we're talking about power bottoms and lies, and we got to get the truth out of you.
Would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming?
What's up with your man? Game over.
I'm here to get us the fuck out of here.
No.
I don't want episode 80 at 188. I don't want no more.
I'm sitting up here saying, how the fuck you do that? I need that on my podcast. Like how the fuck he...
I would have been I'm swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming?
I don't know where he was going with this sermon, but somebody in the audience needs to stand up from New York City and say, hey, yo. Where is Cam and Mace when you need them?
That's funny.
Hey, I'm sitting up here like, in my mind, I'm like, how the fuck he do that? Like, what the fuck? I'm like, what shit I need? But, I didn't watch 2 hours of that. You know, I'll be at work working sometime, you know.
For sure.
Word.
Now I work really, really hard.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
But
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming?
So I did watch, like I said, I watched 30. Like I watched 30 something minutes of it.
Yeah.
And then I caught a couple clips here and there.
Word.
I think, like Antonio said, he was addressing the bullies in the room.
Right.
Do I believe everything he said? I kind of do believe everything he said. Like I believe everything from
what you heard, you believe it?
From what I heard, I believe it. Because I look at shit like Katt Williams ain't no thug. He ain't no thug. But at the same token, if you look at and somewhat of being in the industry of what I know and being how they say the underground and you know you got to get into them rooms that these major celebrities be in. You see X, Y, and Z with this clique and X, Y, and Z with that clique.
Right.
And you will have this clique and that clique and they'll both be rappers and this, that, and the third. But you know what? I'm not fucking with him because he's hanging out with him. And I'm not fucking with him because he's hanging with him. So, and to what Katt Williams was saying, even when he mentioned they wanted him to be a part of the new Kings of Comedy.
Right.
And he said no to that. You know what I mean? I heard that about 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Thank you. There
I
you
heard
go.
that about 2 years ago.
Yep.
So when you start to hear things that he's saying now, and you heard it once before, it's like, I heard that though. So he's really not lying. Again, I don't think he was lying. I think he was addressing the truth, and people don't like the truth.
Yeah.
It's almost like if something happens in the house, that shit need to stay in the house. Like when Draymond punched Boy in the face, that was supposed to stay in the house.
It's supposed to stay in the house.
Cool.
That's right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It got out, and then it went left and right. So what Katt Williams was doing was, he said, fuck everything staying in the house. I'm going to let everybody know what's going on, and I'm going to start spilling everything. And like Antonio said, nobody's really addressing Katt Williams like that ain't true or this, that, and the third. The other day he was on his Instagram, and he told Kevin Hart, which I think Kevin Hart is funny in movies and his stand-up is corny as fuck. He told Kevin Hart, he's like, I'm gonna be in Philly. I got a show in Philly. I got $5 million. And he named $1 million for each thing. You know what I mean? He was
let's do it together. Let's do it. He's inviting him. It wasn't no bullies. He was like, let's go joke for joke on the stage in front of the people. Have fun.
Right. And put $1 million up for that. You know what I'm saying? Put $1 million. If you think you're funnier than me, and what people don't understand is Katt Williams is actually fucking funny.
He is.
He's funny. When he stood over Shannon Sharp and said, with all due respect, if I see him, I'm a
punch him in the gut.
If I see him, if you, and not only that, when he said, when you see somebody lining up on the side of you, how do you feel about it? You feel like you want to bust in.
Yeah.
That's competition.
And that's exactly what it is. And the thing about it is that it's nothing wrong with competition. I think competition is great as long as it's healthy competition. Yeah. And they just don't want Katt Williams to win. And like he said in the interview, they talked about him being on drugs and this, that, and third. You didn't hear Katt Williams on drugs. You heard it
in a blog.
You heard it through the phone. Yeah. So normally you will hear about a celebrity being on drugs or a celebrity doing X, Y, and Z. You heard it blog-wise. Meaning, somebody could have said, I'll pay you X, Y, and Z to put this in. Right now, if somebody say, you know what? If you go and say, you know what, to the hottest blog, I'll pay you $1,000 a week to make sure A Square Podcast is the first and first, middle, and last thing that they hear. You keep shouting out, y'all gonna go through the moon.
If you pay it. If you got the money, you pay it.
You pay it. But you never heard Katt Williams on drugs.
No.
You never heard him on drugs. So a lot of it be for the clickbait, be for the vlogging and things of that nature. So when I sat there and I'm not listening to 2 hours of nothing. I don't give a damn about nobody shit. I don't have 2 hours. I don't have 2 hours to fucking listen to nothing.
Or you gotta listen to it in like days.
Like the
days.
Chop it up.
I got 30 minutes here. I got 30 minutes. I
think that 30-minute clip was enough to be like, nah, he wowed on everybody.
And he did.
And he did. In that 30 minutes, he took everybody out.
And I can appreciate, and for me, I can appreciate how I'm saying, speaking for me, right? I can appreciate how I felt his honesty has come out. And I think the most important thing I think that we need to look at is this. When Katt Williams goes out on tour, he's not just taking a few of his friends who are his, I don't want to say it, but I got to say it.
What do you mean?
I got to do it.
If it's 24 and we speaking the truth, speak the truth.
All right, well, let me speak the truth.
He's taking his writers.
He's not taking, Katt Williams is not taking Spank Horton and the people like how Kevin Hart is. He's not taking, like, those are his close friends who also go sit in on other shows, do comedy at other places, and also help him write. He's taking Lunel out there. He's taking Mr. Cooper, you know what I'm saying? Mark Curry. He's taking like these guys, like these specific people who have been in the game for many, many years and have their own material. He's not taking out the same crew. And I can appreciate that Kevin does that for his group of people. But it's 2024. And my man DJ Super from Jersey said in 2024, no more. So I'm going to say it. Spank Horton and the Plastic Cup Boys ain't funny. They are ass, bro. I'm sorry. They ass. They on Heartbeat Production. I've watched their stand-up alone. I watched them on stage all 2 hours, and it was ass. I would rather watch the worst of Batman movies or the worst of DC movies.
Jesus.
I'd rather be depressed in the basement with my lights off than watching Plastic Cup Boys with no plastic cups. And then
Would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming?
Somebody got to ask TD Jakes, what does that mean?
I don't. You know what?
Don't ask.
They don't.
I don't want.
See, I'll be the one to be like, TD, what do you mean somebody gonna get swallowed? Like, what kind of shit you on, bro?
So
Like,
you gonna stand up and test them? You gonna stand up and
I'll put the one up. Like, I just want what does that mean, bro? Like, and it's so crazy because a lot, and I love church, but a lot of times you hear these pastors and they be preaching, and you be saying to yourself like, bro, you just up there talking because you could just talk, and these people gonna listen to you. Some of that shit don't be making sense.
And they sweating.
So can I talk about cover-ups?
Let's talk about cover-ups, bro. Please do.
So we just talked about them there for 30 minutes. The hottest interview in the game,
topic,
right?
Facts.
Especially in 2024. Yeah. I don't even know where it ranks of all-time interviews. It's up there, but we need time to dissect it, right?
It's up there, yeah.
Stay relevant, all right?
Facts, yeah.
Let's talk about cover-up. There are two things that happened damn near the day of this interview coming out. Mm-hmm. One, you got aliens going off in Miami, bro.
Bro, that never happened,
don't nobody want to talk about it, bro.
Don't nobody have a camera, so that shit don't matter.
Don't nothing work now.
Me. You know me.
Nothing work when there's aliens in Miami kicking it on South Beach. Don't nobody.
They didn't arrest nobody.
Don't nobody talk about it now.
Antonio, they didn't arrest nobody, but every department was dispatched.
Bro, I saw Will Smith and Martin Lawrence trying to chase the alien, and it's like, they was Bad Boys 5 trying to chase them.
I work too much. There was aliens in Miami.
This is my point. This is my point of the cover-up. Google it. You have that going on, right? God. And nobody's talking about it. Then there was a list that came out, DJ.
Hey, let's talk about the list.
There's a person who we put in the fuckboy category. Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein. He made it years ago. We packed him up a minute ago. Yeah. He committed suicide or died in police custody, air quotes. Right? So he's no longer here. But going to court, you have people suing him and suing his estate and all this, and then the fuck girl who was helping him recruit these young kids, raping them and stuff like that. She's in jail, right?
Yeah.
So they have the log. Epstein wasn't stupid either, though. He said, GameOver coming over. He got the hottest podcast. He coming to my island. Let me write his name down. DJ. He talking about.
I'm not going.
He talking about. He talking about Priest. Okay, let me write his name down. Cornbread. He trying to do a movie review. Let me write his name down. All of it was in court. A judge says, "Bro, these names on this list, 150 names." And these are high-profile people. I'm gonna read off some of them.
Some of them we don't even know because
some of them we don't know. They redacted like
there.
5, and they redacted like 5 names. So I would love to see who those 5 names that didn't get.
No, you don't. You don't want to know that.
Yeah, I
definitely. If you know it, you gonna end up and you Epstein.
I definitely.
You Epstein.
But a judge saw that. Hey, why are y'all hiding this from the public? These are top-notch figures, and y'all are trying to hide them for something that's like egregious, right? It's not saying they did anything egregious, but they was at this island, right? It could have been at the island and it was only a volleyball tournament. I don't know, but they was at this island. They can't say they was there. So you have people like Kevin Spacey, You had Bruce Willis there. Obviously, Donald Trump taking pictures with him, but he said he didn't know him, right? But
Naomi Campbell.
Yep. You had Leonardo DiCaprio. You got Al Gore. You got who's some other people?
Bill Clinton. Donald Trump.
Yeah.
The list goes on. It's a lot.
Like I said, it's
so many.
like 150 people names. So it's a nasty list. They say Oprah was on there. It's a nasty list, bro.
I got an issue with the list.
Okay, talk to me, DJ.
I have an issue with the list because in 2024, like my man Super said, no more. That means I done been around a person and people who have killed people, bro. They in jail. I've been around some of the worst people ever, not in something where like it was like statutory rape or anything like that, but I've been around some hardcore people who I believe you did that shit and you in jail. It is what it is, right? But also, does that mean I should be in jail? Does that mean I know
right what
was going on in that room?
Facts.
Because believe it or not, there are places in this country right now that have shit going on in rooms that's hella illegal. Does that mean that if I go to that club or whatever, I know what the fuck going on in the VIP booth?
No, so I think you.
I don't know that.
So I think you or other people are misinterpreting what the list coming out is for. It's not to incriminate people. If DJ went to that hottest club, and that hottest club is known for raping people every time they go there,
but that wasn't It wasn't known.
No. It
for
wasn't
that,
known for that, right? But
that,
DJ said, "Man, that club is wild. I would have never been there. They would have never happened."
Oh yeah, well then, all right, well you can't do that.
Hold on, you're on this list. That's what that's for.
You got to pull the Robert Kennedy. No,
that's
I
what
just
it's
took
for.
the private
People
flight,
are
bro.
saying, "Oh, Epstein is the lowest of the low," right? I would have never hung out with him. But bro, it says right here, you've been there 13 times. You a frequent flyer.
You can't do that. You can't
do that. That's what this list is for, right? So when you have the powerful people like Bill Clinton, who was the ex-president, going to this island, not saying nothing happened, but going to the island, and he's a president. But then he like, oh, I don't know no Epstein. You had a sitting president, Trump, saying he didn't know him, bro. He has pictures with him and he's on this list. So that's what the list was for. You could have accidentally, Eric could have been like, hey, we going to this island. You tell me I'm going. Let's get it. What you mean? Come on, game over. We going to this island. Oh, they wilding out. We getting off. Oh, you ain't going? You ain't going, Kurt?
No. Only island I go to is Colombia, baby. That's it.
And that's not even an island, bro.
So you'll you'll go with a dope app. So you go to the dope app, but you won't go to the private island. I got
big ass country. And he talking about his island.
That's the only island I go to. The only island I go to is Colombia, baby. That's it.
And what you do in Colombia?
I don't go to Epstein Islands. I go to Colombia.
What you do in Colombia?
Oh, I'll be on a golf cart.
Yeah.
No, I'll be in a bungee. I go swimming.
Swimming,
yeah.
I bring back coffee too, right? And other stuff, yeah.
I got some hot chocolate. You want me to get? I got some hot chocolate. You know
some cocaine.
I go for the blue. No, cocaine. No.
Have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed?
Yeah. See, that's what happened when I be going to Colombia. They be, you know what I mean?
Did you been swallowed, bro?
The girls swallowed. The girls.
Hey, yo, bro.
The girls.
What? Swallowed up.
The girls. Hey,
well, I don't. Allegedly.
No, ain't no allegedly.
I don't know what's going on in Colombia.
You know what's going on in Colombia.
I ain't never been. I ain't never been to Colombia.
Listen, the thing is,
you ain't never been to Colombia. Take a trip.
Go. All right, I'll go there with y'all only. But
no,
listen,
I ain't got nothing to do with it.
My own, like I said again, I agree with the list, I guess, coming out, but I think in today's time, I think that the lie matters so much more than the truth.
I agree.
That if your name is, here's the thing. I saw, Antonio, you don't be on the internet like I do. No. So I'm on the internet. So I get to see if there's let's say there's 5 slides of the articles or whatever it is coming out about Epstein, whatever it is, right? And I saw Michael Jackson. I saw it said Michael Jackson was there. Mm-hmm. The average person in today's world instantly went to, I knew he was the one that was there. Mm-hmm. They didn't swipe. Where the people were saying, oh no, he wasn't the one getting any massages. Like the Jane Does, you know what I'm saying? They were like, oh no, he never did it. What about this person? Oh yeah, he was in there. They're so concerned about the lie that they pick and choose. And I think that's the problem.
Sure. And I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even with Bill Clinton being there, they came.
Whatever
out
they
and
said, he did that shit.
No,
he did that shit.
No, they said that they said he was there, but he didn't take part in any festivities or anything that was going on.
And I watched him on live TV in 5, whatever. I sat down, and when he said I did not on public TV, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, and he looked to his right and left and said I did not. I believed him then.
But he didn't have sexual relationships with Monica Lewinsky.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, my bad, bro.
He just got head.
Whoa, allegedly.
No, ain't no fucking allegedly. He did, because if Monica listened,
you was there.
If Monica listened, she listened too. Shit.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Monica Lewinsky, she probably ain't got no teeth. Make it even better now.
Oh my God, he's married and he's a sitting president, bro. You can't get ahead. You can't do that.
All right.
Why not? So because he married?
A Square podcast listeners, I promise you guys this. The next time GameOver is on our podcast,
he's getting
getting a 5-minute clock too. Him and DJ are gonna get themselves canceled, and I'm gonna put them on the clock.
How you gonna put me in it?
So
how you gonna put me in it?
Don't worry about it. I got both of y'all.
I never did a thing.
How you gonna put me in it?
Antonio, we talked about a movie prior to us coming on here for this year. You said you was gonna watch it. We mentioned it. Leave the World Behind.
Oh shit.
Have you seen it,
talk
GameOver,
about
or no?
it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, GameOver. Let's give your opinion. Let's talk to you. What you think?
I think the movie was 7. The ending sucks.
Yeah.
The ending sucks. But the whole concept of the movie, it was a good movie until the end. It should have been a better ending. You know what I mean? But it was definitely, I enjoyed the movie until the ending part of it. Definitely enjoyed it.
What you think, Antonio?
I break down movies all the time, you know what I'm saying? So, I had some issues with this movie. It was very incomplete. And with how I review movies from the next movie, right? I compare that movie to this movie. It don't matter if it's a Marvel movie to a horror movie, or if it's a comedy to a drama or a true story. It don't matter. I rank them all together. And so with that knowledge, this movie had a lot of blank areas that I didn't feel, right? The ending pissed me off as well. But if you go back and pick out the positive stuff, I would say it's a great movie that hopefully you can decide what character you are if shit hits the fan.
Right.
Who are you going to be? What character are you when your power don't work, your internet don't work, you can't go to the grocery store, people shooting and looting and stuff? Which character are you, right? So you can learn from that on what not to do or what to do, right? Get prepared. I think that's one positive thing that I took away. I also took away, this is my interpretation of the deer, right? The deer that kept popping up all the time.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is my interpretation, because I talked to a couple of people and they feel differently about what the deer
we were trying to figure that out.
Right. So this is my interpretation of what the deer are. If you take a deer's on the bottom of the food chain, right? The very bottom. They don't. People don't get attacked by deer. Deers don't hunt in packs. They don't do none of that. They be eating shrubs, blueberries, and then get cooked up. That's all they do, bro. They the bottom of the bottom, right? Yeah. How I interpreted the deer is they're curious at the beginning. What's going on? All right, let me leave out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all still over here? Y'all good? You know what I'm saying? All right, let me get out of here. The ending to me, when I saw all those deer and then you see the big buck come out, is we got the power now. Yeah. We're not hunted anymore, bro.
Okay.
Y'all as humans are hunted because you have no power now. And literally you have no power, no food, no nothing. Y'all out in the wilderness where we live. Y'all can't survive out here. So that was my interpretation of they was fully loaded. They ready. We could go hunting now. Or y'all not hunting us anymore because we showing our stance, you know. So that, like I said, that was my interpretation of what it was, that nature is going to run this to the end of time. We just a cog in the wheel on that. So that was just my interpretation of it. But DJ, what you think?
What was your thoughts on at the end of the movie, if you didn't know, but what was your thoughts on the end of the movie when it said that it was executively produced by the Obamas? And if you saw what Michelle said today in an interview, in a sit-down interview, did you see the sit-down interview?
What did she say? No, I didn't.
So in this sit-down interview, she said that the thing that keeps her up at night is the things that she wishes that she did not know.
Oh, that's a fact.
Being married to
that's a fact.
A husband who is the president of the United States. And he gets letters, or if he gets something, and he like, and she sees like how that's her husband, so she don't want to ask what it is, but what's up? And he says, oh, you know, these countries are going to war. This is what the real stuff is, not the news. This is what's really happening. And then you see that this movie is executively produced by them. And it was so in reality. Because I think we can all look at the movie and say,
it's like current time.
I got people who live next door to me that got the guns. And I got guns. Mm-hmm. I got people that live next to me that support X, Y, and Z. I support whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your thoughts when you hear something like that?
So I go with, think about how many times somebody threatens America every day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's always going to go to the president. Hey, there's a student said he's going to shoot up this school tomorrow. So, you know, we just arrested him for this, right? It's so much negative of protection, and that's going to wear on him and her, right? We just talked about aliens, bro. Area 51 has been, there's really not an Area 51 for years.
Yeah.
They finally last year, finally said, all right, we're going to talk about the aliens. Yeah, there's some real shit.
Here's
but
whatever
as a president,
files.
But as a president, you know that it's really happening. That there's somebody got abducted. Somebody just caught a dead one. Somebody's fighting one, or they look like a phone. It's an alien. Really is like a little. I don't know, like a R2D2.
It could be anything.
It could be anything, right? But it's like you have the real knowledge, and that's going to wear on you. Number one is knowing that information, and then number two is you can't say nothing. That's the only sounding board is her, Michelle Obama. That's the only person I could tell, right? Yeah. And I low key, this place is bugged, so I can only sign language to her. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that. So I agree with how she would feel. That's gonna be tough for anybody. But my fault. Game over. What you think, bro?
I mean, I like those type of movies because I just want to know what's going on and how to again react if some of this shit was to really happen. I'm gonna be the one. And I forgot the dude's name, who house they went to, and he had the guns, he had everything, he had the, and I also want to be
Kevin Bacon here.
Kevin Bacon, yeah.
And I also want to be that house, the bunker where she went, and all that shit was there. I want to be in there. You know what I'm saying? So I do watch them type of movies, and I like them type of movies. I just be wanting to know they getting this shit from somewhere. All of it ain't fake. They getting it from somewhere. So wherever they getting it from, I'm glad you putting it on these TV screens so somebody like me could be like, oh, okay, all right. And I also not never to buy a Tesla. I'm never gonna buy a Tesla. I'm never gonna buy a Tesla. But then again, it's crazy because the planes was crashing and shit. It was just crazy. It was just crazy. But I'm just never buying a Tesla. I'm never buying a Tesla.
And I take it from and we'll get ready to wrap this up, but I'll take it from the young girl's perspective. Oh, she's not in none of this shit. She doesn't care. All she want to do is be consumed in what's entertaining her.
Right.
What is the world doing right now? We're being entertained. We don't care about, be honest, do we really care about the truth? We might individually care about what's real, but the majority does not care about what's real. She represents the majority. She said, hey, I want to see how Friends ends.
Right.
F whatever y'all talking about. All this plane crash, all the military this, the presidential this, all the food this, that. She didn't care about none of that. She cared about love and hip hop. That's what she care about. And that's a real thing if you actually think about it. That the fake reality to some people is their reality. It's unfortunate, but it is real. We live in fake, in I would say not fake, but entertainment. You don't care, or the truth. And what the hell is the truth at this point? That's kind of where I come from.
And to me, I looked at that as being today's generation.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, these kids don't give a fuck. They just want to play their video games. They just want to be on their phones. You can sit there and tell your kid to do something 10 times and he want to do this. So that's how I took that. No matter what was going on, she wanted to do what she wanted to do. She didn't have no time that motherfucking cars was crashing into each other, planes was coming down, the world might be coming to an end. All she knew is that today's generation is she's gonna do what she wanted to do. Now, to me, growing up, we was at the end of the day, it wasn't our generation was hell of a different. You know what I mean? Even some of the times when I go back home, I'll be like, there's no real OGs how we had it. Like people taught us from the streets and things like that. Like that kid couldn't have been us. We would have been out there like, what the fuck going on? Like I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So today's generation is totally different. So I took it as that's just a common generation of what's going on today, which is completely bad. That these kids have no self-awareness about this thing that we call life that's going on. All they want to do is focus on what's in front of them and not what's to the left and what's to the right. And sometimes I say that part of the movie was you can look at that from so many different angles, and I looked at that like that's today's generation. You put a cell phone in a 3-year-old kid, he could work the phone better than you.
That's true.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's because that's what they into. I ain't gonna fuck about no cell phone. You know what I mean?
No.
None of that stuff. I
actually didn't even have minutes back then, bro. I had units.
Man,
I had units. That meant 0.5, don't text no more. 0.5, don't say nothing to nobody.
You have to wait till like 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock.
Wait
till 9 o'clock.
But I like that generational thing. Let's say she represented the younger generation.
Yeah.
And then I think each character represents a form of people out there.
That's right. Yeah.
Because if you even take her brother was the one, let's say he was a virgin, right? He didn't live life to the fullest. Then he getting bit, his teeth falling out. He's the one who needs to be taken care of through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Right? So there's going to be people like that who you have to, it's your luggage. Remember, they almost died trying to save him.
Damn right.
They have to barter with Kevin Bacon's character and all that stuff, right? And then you got Mahershala Ali's character who had one mission, but then he was like, well, now I got to be sidetracked. Now I got to find my wife. It's people out there like that. Where my kids at? That's all I care about. I don't care about nothing else. Where's my family member? And then you got the daughter who, she's like, I just need to know the truth. What's going on? That's it.
That's it.
Tell me the truth. We'll maneuver. She ain't scared, but she want to know the truth. You got Jodie Foster's character who wilding out on everybody. So I like that everybody has like their own little genre.
Everybody has their thing.
Everybody has their thing. And I think that's real life, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's going to handle different. So I'm with you, man.
Absolutely. The last thing we'll talk about real quick, we'll give I hate to do it. We'll maybe do more discussion on this as news comes out, so on and so forth, because there's a lot of outrage, of course. But before we get up out of here, the last thing I want to talk about is the Dave Chappelle stand-up. Did either of you get a chance to watch the Dave Chappelle stand-up?
I ain't watch it.
Okay.
I have never watched Dave Chappelle.
All right.
Hold on, what?
Bro.
I've never watched Dave Chappelle.
I was about to put the swallow on, but I can't get it. I was about to put the
bro.
I have never.
Why is that, sir?
What?
I mean, again, everybody have different opinions,
Right.
but I guess when it comes to Dave Chappelle, I think I'm the only one that have a bad opinion because apparently I'll be the only one wrong.
No, you're not the only one. You're not the only
I've
one.
never found Dave Chappelle to be funny at all.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason behind that though? Like have you? I'm talking about like is there something? Is there something that happened and you was like, that ain't it?
You know what? I think with me, if you don't grasp my attention within that first 60 seconds to a minute, it's like you're corny. That's just how I rate comedians. Like to me, I just never found him to be funny. He remind me of Hits on the Streets.
That's okay.
You know what I mean? But Hits on the Streets he wasn't funny comedian. He was funny acting that made his comedy funny because of his acting out doing it. To me, I just never found Dave Chappelle funny, and I've never given him, I guess to his credit, I've never given him that opportunity to find out because he didn't appeal to you.
He didn't appeal to you.
Right. And I say it all the time. When you speaking to somebody, especially a celebrity, if you got them standing there longer than 60 seconds to a minute, you have their attention. You know what I'm saying? He just never got my attention, so I've never ever watched the man. Never watched the man.
I respect it. I respect it.
Tonio, what you think? Did you have a chance to watch it?
No, I haven't had a chance to watch it, but because obviously we was dealing, with the situation a little bit ago. But just let me talk to you about your, Dave Chappelle. So I like that. He's more of let's say if he's a movie, he's a mystery, right? So he's putting chips and puzzles together to get to the end, and then it's all brilliant, right? It all comes together. So that is the type of comedian
it's like a storyteller,
right? It's a storytelling. So I do understand. I've never looked at it how you looked at it because I'm there for the story, right? So he could take an hour and a half. I'm sitting there, man, he finna cook this up. But for somebody who needs that instant gratification, right? I do understand that. So I respect that. I respect that opinion, though, bro. But no, he's top one, top two to me. But I do respect. I do respect. But to me, I think that analysis is true, right? And how you feel about it. It wasn't like you just said something crazy as fuck. I'm like, no, you don't do that. But I think he does. So I appreciate that. But DJ, tell us a little bit about it.
So I watched it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought that this was probably his second, maybe top one.
Oh my god!
But I'm going second. I'm gonna go second. Because I obviously, you know me, I watch all the stand-ups, bro. Everybody, relevancy. Everything is relevant. It doesn't leave anything or anybody out. And the one thing I love about stand-up comedians is storytelling. Can you tell a story and make it funny? It's almost like how Katt Williams said that how the hell are y'all out of chicken wings, but y'all selling chickens? You got directly to the joke. He gets directly to the joke because that is a brilliant question. How the hell y'all got whole chickens? But you telling me you ain't got no wings? That doesn't make any sense to me. And that's his brilliance, is to get you in to the reality of what is actually happening. Dave goes much slower. So I'm going to say, let's do this. I think this is a minute and 40 seconds if it works, because we're going through some glitches. But let's see if this works, and if it doesn't, I'll break it down.
We could double back, because I could watch it next time.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Let's double back for the people that's out there, because we're just getting back to.
That's their assignment to watch it, so we can talk about it.
This is our first. Yeah, we set the assignment for the last one. Was obviously
Leave the World Behind. It's on Netflix.
Leave the World
Behind.
Yeah.
Out there. What's this Dave Chappelle special on? You know.
So Dave Chappelle's on Netflix. It is called Dreamer.
Okay. Dreamer.
It's called Dreamer.
Cool.
And I will tell y'all that my personal opinion is I absolutely loved it. I thought it was brilliant, and he wasn't afraid to say things after the masses had already came out and been like, that's it. That's enough, Dave Chappelle. He's canceled. He's this, that, and the third. He still stuck to his truth and his beliefs, and also his friends. So for those people who out there like, he doesn't like trans people, he doesn't like gay people, he don't like white people, he don't like this. He makes it very clear that these are his friends and this is comedy. And if you can't be up there and be free, what the fuck are we doing? And I can appreciate that the most. You know what I mean? He ain't being held back. So that's y'all thing for the week, and we'll get to that.
Game over, man. Tell the people where they supposed to be at, man.
Yes, sir.
Yo, y'all already know, man. This Sunday, January 14th, 15 Minutes of Fame podcast. We launch it from 6 to 9, 3938 Shirley Drive, Atlanta, Georgia. Don't ask me how to get there. Just GPS. I don't know if it's north, south, east, west. I don't know if it's on 75, 220, or whatever. Just hit your GPS. You already know, man. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram. That's GameOver_host. And that's my page. And then the podcast page is 15 Minutes of Fame podcast. And I appreciate y'all for having me on y'all podcast. This was dope.
Sure,
hey,
man.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Yes, sir. We here, baby. First pod of the year. Antonio, what do you always tell the people, bro, before we get up out of here, man?
So I'm definitely going to tell people that you love them. Because that tomorrow don't mean shit, bro. So game over, DJ. I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, man, it gets ugly out here, man. So rest in peace to my grandma, Anna B. Adams, again, man. She's a great soul. She will be missed. And then definitely, man, keep y'all shoes by y'all feet in 2024. We're not playing, bro. We're not playing. And we got something special for y'all for our 5th year. We got something special.
Facts.
Just stay tuned for that, man. Stay tuned for that.
Because you never know, man. With this being the first show of 2024, I would love to tell the story about how keep your shoes by your feet was originated, but I can't. What I can do is tell you that I wish at that moment that I had my shoes by my feet, because I had to do some searching. Was it the realest shit ever? It was.
All right, cool.
It was told to me 48 minutes before we got to before whatever happened. And I didn't, and it, we here today. We live in
that lady house.
We live no, bro.
Out that lady house.
No, bro.
That window was high as hell for you to jump out of.
There it comes.
That window was high as hell, huh? That ain't it? All right. I'm close enough, though. All right.
Close enough is crazy.
I lost a shoe. I lost a shoe in the A, and Antonio lost his key.
No,
that shit
you made me lose
crazy.
my key. Don't say Antonio lost his key.
Crazy.
He made me lose it.
Hey, standing outside your own house
in the
Antonio,
rain and the cold.
Standing outside of your house in 21-degree weather, waiting on a locksmith is crazy, bro.
Aaron got picked up by one hand by somebody, bro. One hand. I ain't never seen that. I ain't never seen
that man wife alone.
No, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Game over.
You let Tiny pick you up like that?
Don't do that. Hey, leave her alone, bro.
We named Tiny.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Listen, A Square Podcast, Game Over. We appreciate you, man. We are excited for the launch of the podcast, man. Anything that we could do to help promote that, support it, that's what we here for, man. 15 Minutes of Fame podcast coming soon to y'all, man. And the A Square Podcast is here to support it, man. And until next time, I am DJ A-Ron. That's my man Cornbread. Game Over. We appreciate you, my brother.
Thanks, bro.
Appreciate y'all. All
Yes,
right,
sir. Until next time, we out here, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, man.